Now, the House of Representatives has called on the international community to support Nigeria's ongoing constitutional review process through technical assistance, legislative exchanges, and interparliamentary cooperation. Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, who also serves as chairman of the House Committee on Constitution Review, appealed at the Constitution Review diplomatic dinner held at the National Assembly Library in Abuja on Friday. Now, this comes after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu called for an urgent overhaul of Nigeria's security framework through constitutional reform, declaring that the establishment of state police is now a necessity given the country's deepening security challenges. Joining us on the show to discuss the ongoing conversation around reforming Nigeria's constitution is Solomon Bob, member of the House of Representatives. Good morning and welcome to the program today.
Good morning. Glad to be with you.
Well, Honorable Bob, thank you for joining us. Very quickly, this morning we were discussing the Senate Committee on the Review of the Constitution, and now we're focusing on the House of Reps. Major issue that we talked about, the proposal to create 40 states, additional states. Well, I think we seem to agree this morning that, that will just be creating more centers of, on productivity, lack of productivity. But there are more serious issues. We also agreed, being looked at state police, for example, independent candidacy, diaspora voting, empowerment of women in terms of representation. We thought those are more, serious issues to look at, not state creation. What do you think?
Well, thank you. I couldn't agree more with you on your take on state creation. I'm not sold the idea at all, and I think it's not going to work anyway. I'm a member of the Committee on Constitutional Reform in the House of Reps. My views on constitutional reform are well known. I don't think that the National Assembly can lead by itself the kind of comprehensive constitutional reform needed in this country. Okay, we cannot, because there are many impediments in the current constitution that wants to amend that will make such that make any sea change constitutional reform impossible. The reference to state creation you just mentioned, we have to understand that Section 9 makes it almost impossible to create states and even local governments under this current constitution. First, I must add that quickly that I'm not a fan of local government in the constitution in the first place. I've been sponsoring bills in the House for the past, since last time, and now I do not think that local governments will be a feature in the federal constitution, and it's not an example you find anywhere in the world. And I've studied many federal constitutions across the world. Back to state creation, it's ludicrous. Talk about creating 40 more states in a country like this. I don't think that the threshold in the Constitution will even let that pass in the first place, because you require 4/5 of each house to let that pass. 4/5 is 80%. That's an impossible threshold. And the other things you mentioned, Constitution reform or amendment has become more of something of a performative exercise, a routine performative exercise every 4 years. We don't get to the real heart of the issues that are troubling the country in terms of the structure of the country. We deal with what I might consider trivia. Okay, so they don't get to the heart of what we need to do. And that is why I've always said that we need an executive-led comprehensive proposal for constitutional reform. My hope is that the president, given his background and his years-long agitation for genuine federalism, you support it.
Okay.
Will be charged at the appropriate time.
Okay, thank you for that, Honorable Bob. Now, your PDP member in the House of Reps. We've often spoken about the Senate. The Senate is getting a lot of the limelight when it comes to these legislative activities. And they've somewhat been given, or they've acquired the name of being rubber stamp. We're not seeing frequent, robust exchanges. Similarly, in the House of Reps, it's following a similar, we're seeing a similar pattern where there isn't that robust exchange that we would hope that, yes, although the opposition may be in the minority, we still want to see that exchange happening. With several constitutional reviews coming up, some people are a little bit disillusioned because they feel, well, we're not seeing and hearing the opposition voices. What's your take on the state of the House of Reps specifically and the role that opposition voices are playing at this critical time? And if I may just ask you to just project your voice a little bit for the benefit of our viewers.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me better now?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the thing is, you can't debate it yourself. You can only debate what is on the other paper in the House, okay? You can only debate, you're only allowed to debate or profile your opinion on what is stated for debating. I know that some of us have had, strong proposals for debate, the way of bills and motions. Some of them are yet to get to the floor. Okay, but in any case, I reject your frequent characterization of the National Assembly as a rubber stamp. Not a rubber stamp. We are not National Assembly to, trade blows. Okay, there are many things get done without outside of the camera, and we are not activists. I'm not an activist. I'm not a social critic. I'm a politician by choice. So we know how to get things done. We don't have to do things. We don't have to do things to appease the camera or the watching public. We get things done in a manner that's consistent with the rules of the House and the rules of engagement of politics generally. All over the world, we get this kind of, jab every time. Oh, you should have done that, should have, maybe we want to speak for coming to fisticuffs, but that's not how it works. We're not rubber stamp. There are many instances where we've had to disagree with the executive. Okay, I agree that we can do more in terms of, but first of all, like I mentioned, you have to have something you want to contribute on the other paper, set for debate, before you can have the kind of meaningful engagement you want to bring to the table. If it's not there, it's not there. Well, I'm not the one that makes the rules in terms of what can come to the floor. If I was in that position, maybe the kind of, I don't know, maybe some of you who like fireworks, okay, who like spectacle, would have been seeing it.
Okay. I want to make a case this morning for things like electoral reforms. After the last elections, a lot of people across board agreed that some of the things that were written as guidelines for INEC should actually be made laws and part of the electoral laws. And if we don't do that, we're not going to solve our electoral problems. What's your read on all of that?
Please, I would like you to repeat your question. Just repeat it one more time. I'm sorry.
Hello, sir. I can't.
Please repeat your question.
Yes,
okay.
Please. Go ahead. I want to repeat your question.
Some of the things that were listed as electoral guidelines for INEC, a lot of people, analysts, opinion molders, did say that it will be best those things should be converted to law, because after the last elections, we saw many loopholes and lacunas here and there. What's your read on most of those provisions as regards electoral reforms as we speak now?
Well, speaking generally, I don't have a hand on the things you are hinting at, but generally speaking, electoral reform is desirable. But even more desirable is constitutional reform. Electoral reforms can only go so far. This country's major problem is the structure of the country. And you don't build structure through elections. you first build election through the Constitution. If the Constitution remains the way it is, we'll only be playing musical games, a musical game of musical chairs. You know, it doesn't matter how many times you have elections and all that stuff. The person coming in can only work within the constraints of the existing framework, which is why I think that going forward, you know, both the organized civil society, the media, and everybody should focus a lot of attention on the constitution we have. For me, it's not up to snuff. I have seen many constitutions across the world. This one, as a federal constitution, is not up to snuff. So without being very specific concerning the items of electoral reform you talked about, I can only speak in general terms and say that electoral reforms are desirable, but like I said, not nearly as desirable as constitutional reform.
Okay. All right, Honorable Solomon Bob, thank you so much for your time this morning and your take on the House of Representatives as we begin, or rather we further the process of constitutional